You had only 3 days left to save your biggest dream, and it was entirely your own fault. That is exactly what happened to a 12-year-old boy named Ethan, a boy who believed time was endless, until time itself taught him the harshest lesson of his life. In a small town surrounded by wheat fields and narrow winding streets, Ethan was bright-eyed, clever, and full of dreams. But he had one habit that troubled everyone around him. He never valued time. Ethan believed there would always be a later for everything he needed to do. Every morning,
breakfast is ready!
His father would call him for breakfast, and Ethan would shout back, "5 more minutes, Dad." Those 5 minutes would turn into 20, and he would rush to school, his shoes untied and his homework unfinished. His teacher, Mr. Whitmore, often reminded him,
"Ethan, remember that time is your most valuable resource. Use every moment wisely."
But Ethan would only smile and shrug, thinking these words were just old sayings that grown-ups like to repeat. Ethan's best friend, Liam, was completely different. Liam planned his day carefully. He finished his homework right after school, helped his grandfather in the workshop, read books in the evening, and still found time to play. Ethan often teased him, saying,
"Liam, why are you always in such a hurry? Relax. There's always tomorrow."
Liam would simply reply,
"Tomorrow is a promise, not a guarantee."
One autumn, the town announced a big competition, a science and
Look at
invention
that, Liam.
fair judged by visitors from the city. The winner would receive a scholarship to a prestigious academy, along with a shining trophy. Both Ethan and Liam decided to participate. Ethan was thrilled. He imagined himself holding the trophy, receiving applause, and making his father proud. He had a brilliant idea for a working model of a small windmill that could generate electricity to light up a miniature house.
Windmill! Haha, I'll start tomorrow. I still have 3 months left.
But tomorrow became next week, and next week became next month. Whenever his father reminded him about the project,
Hurry, there's plenty of time.
he spent his afternoons playing video games, chatting with friends, and daydreaming about winning without ever picking up a single tool. Liam, meanwhile, worked steadily. Every single day, he spent 1 hour on his project, a small model showing how solar panels could power a farm. He researched, sketched, tested his ideas, and asked his grandfather
Check the
and teacher for
connection right
guidance
here.
whenever he faced difficulties. Some days, his model failed to work properly, but because he had time on his side, he was able to fix his mistakes and try again. As the weeks passed, the competition date crept closer. One evening, Ethan glanced at the calendar hanging in the kitchen and felt his heart drop. Only 10 days were left, and he hadn't even bought the materials for his windmill. Panic rushed through him. He rushed to the market that same evening, gathering wood, wires, a small motor, and other materials. He stayed up late every night, hammering, gluing, and adjusting wires with trembling hands. But rushing through something rarely makes it strong. The windmill blades were uneven, the motor was wired incorrectly, and by the 5th night, exhaustion had taken over his small body. His eyes were heavy, his hands ached, and worst of all, the model still didn't work. 3 days before the fair, disaster struck. The motor burned out because it had been connected wrongly, and Ethan had no money left to buy another one, having already spent his savings on the earlier materials. He sat on the floor of his room, staring at the broken windmill, tears rolling down his cheeks. All those months he had wasted, thinking time was unlimited, now felt like the greatest loss of his life. He ran to Liam's house that evening, his eyes red from crying. Liam was in his workshop, polishing his now completed project, which sat neatly under a small glass cover, ready for the fair. When Liam saw his friend's distress, he immediately brought him inside and offered him tea, letting Ethan explain everything through his sobs.
I thought I had time, but now my project is ruined and there's only 3 days left. Don't lose hope, Ethan. We can still fix this together. Success depends on how we use our time. You can do this. Days are still enough to make a difference if we work together.
Even though Liam had his own project to prepare, he spent his remaining free hours helping Ethan. They couldn't rebuild the windmill from scratch, so instead, they simplified the idea. Using cardboard, a smaller motor from an old toy, and careful teamwork, they built a modest but functioning wind-powered fan that could spin a small paper wheel, demonstrating the basic concept of wind energy. It wasn't as impressive as Ethan's original dream, but it worked. And most importantly, it was honest effort put into the time that remained. On the day of the fair, the hall was filled with excited students, proud parents, and curious visitors from the city. Liam's solar farm model impressed the judges with its detail.
This model shows how solar energy powers the farmhouse. It supports clean, renewable energy.
He was awarded first place and received the scholarship along with the golden trophy.
Congratulations, Liam. Fantastic work.
Thank you so much, sir.
Ethan's simple wind fan model didn't win any prize, but one of the visiting judges, an elderly scientist, stopped by his table and asked him to explain his project.
I wanted to make something that could generate clean energy for everyone. I wasted my time at the beginning. This is all I could complete.
The scientist smiled kindly and said,
True science begins with wonder, Ethan. Every great discovery starts with a single step.
That evening, walking home under the orange sky, Ethan turned to Liam and said,
I finally understand what you were trying to teach me.
Time isn't something we own forever. It's something we borrow, moment by moment,
Time is precious,
and we
isn't it?
must use it wisely
We should
before it
use it
slips
wisely.
away. From that day onward, Ethan changed. He woke up early, planned his days, finished his tasks without delay, and never again said later when he meant now. He often told other boys in his town,
Time is the most valuable thing we have. Don't wait until tomorrow to start something important. Begin today. That is why we must make every moment count.
and so, the boy who once wasted his days became someone who taught others, through his own story, the true value of time.